Your brain was not designed for modern life. Specifically, your brain is terrible at multitasking. What we call multitasking is actually what psychologists call rapid task switching. And it comes with a huge hidden penalty. Think of your focus like a computer's RAM. When you are on a single task, all that processing power is available. But when you have multiple tabs and apps opened, the system slows down. So every time you switch, even for a second, your brain has to shut down one process and load a new one. But this isn't seamless. It creates what researchers call a switch cost. And it's not just a few lost seconds. Research shows that even brief mental blocks from shifting between tasks can cost as much as 40% of your productive time. One famous study from the University of California found it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get back to a state of deep focus after an interruption. Imagine this. You are finally in the zone on a report, right? And a Slack notification pops up. You answer it. Boom. 23 minutes of your focus. Don't go with that. It don't disappear. Now, for those of us juggling major life roles like being a boss from 9 to 5, a parent from 5 to 9, a partner, a content creator, so many things going on in our life. This isn't just happening at a desk. It is happening all day long. So every single time you switch from work mode to parent mode to partner mode to content creator mode, you're paying a cognitive tax. And this constant switching drains your mental battery, increases your stress, and makes deep focused work feel like a fantasy. And that is not just a feeling, it's a psychological fact. You feel exhausted after a busy day, but you still ask yourself, what did I do today? That means your brain spent more energy switching than actually doing. So when you fail to be consistent, it is not a moral failing. It's a cognitive one. I want you to hear this. You are not lazy. You're just overloaded. And so what does that actually create in your daily life? It creates three massive reward barriers to consistency. And if you've ever felt stuck, I guarantee that at least one of these is running in the background right now as I speak, as you're watching this video. And the first one is prioritization paralysis. When you have multiple rules, you have multiple sources of urgent tasks. Your boss needs a report submitted at 1 p.m. Your kid needs help with their homework. Your client has a quick question. So everything feels like a priority. And when everything is a priority, nothing is. So, what do? You fall into completion bias, naturally doing the easiest, quickest task just to get a small dopamine hit of accomplishment, while the big, important goals get pushed to the next day and the day after and the day after. The second barrier is role bleed. This is where the lines between your identities get blurry. You're at the dinner table with your family, but your mind is still troubleshooting a work problem. This has a name though. It's called attention residue. A research from the University of Minnesota found that when you move to a new task, part of your brain still feels stuck on the last one. And this residue makes it impossible to be fully present and effective. And this is why you forget things, you make simple mistakes, you feel like you are doing half-baked job at everything, even though you're trying your best. Now, the third one is your nervous system conditioning. If you've spent years in high pressure jobs or chaotic homes, and especially if you're a Nigerian living in Lagos, we know how chaotic Lagos is. Your body has been trained to run on urgency. Cortisol and adrenaline were your fuel. So when you finally get a quiet moment to work slowly on a long term goal, it feels so wrong. It feels uncomfortable, it feels unproductive. And that is because your nervous system mistakes the calm for laziness. So you start seeking out intensity again, accidentally recreating the very burnout you're trying to escape from. Now, consistency is a quiet, low dopamine game. Hustle is loud and flashy, but your brain is used to the latter and rejects the former. So you're not just fighting a to-do list. You're fighting prioritization paralysis, attention residue, and a nervous system that is hooked unstressed. No amount of willpower can win that fight for you day after day. None. No amount of willpower will do that. Now you see, consistency isn't a discipline problem. It's a design problem. So now if any of this is beginning to land, you're sitting right there going, hey, just talking about me. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. This channel is built for people exactly like us juggling too much and tired of advice that doesn't account for how complex our lives actually are. Thank you for subscribing. All right, now let's move to the part that you have been waiting for. If our brains are wired against this and our lives are designed for interruption, are we doomed? Absolutely not. The secret isn't more discipline, it is to stop playing rigged game and start designing a better one. Here are three strategies that work with your brain's limits and not against them. Strategy number one, prioritize ruthlessly with a system. Feeling of being overwhelmed is just a lack of clarity. And to fight it, you need a system. Two of the best are one, the Eisenhower matrix. This matrix forces you to sort every task into four boxes. So if your task is urgent and important, you do it immediately. If it is important but not urgent, you schedule it. And if it is urgent but not important, then you delegate it. And if it is not important and not urgent, simply delete it. Most of us live in the do it box and putting out fires. The key to consistency is living in the schedule it box. This is where your long-term goals live. The workout plan, the creative project. You protect time for these things first so they don't get hidden by unnecessary emergencies. Number two is the Ivy Lee method. And this is brutal for its simplicity. It's so simple to use. At the end of each day, write down 6 most important things you need to do tomorrow. Only 6. Then rank them by importance. So the next day you start with task 1 and work on it until it is finished. Only then do you move to task 2. This is brutally effective because it kills decision fatigue in the moment. You've already decided what matters, so it forces single tasking and builds incredible momentum. Now, if you need a template for these two prioritization techniques, I will put a link in the description for you so you can download it immediately and start using. Strategy number 2, batch your roles and block your time. So instead of switching between mom, manager, writer, like every 15 minutes, group similar tasks together. And this is task batching. Have a communications block. And that is for all of your emails and messages. And you just know that during this period, you're only working on something called communications. And have a deep work block for your big project. So you know that from so time to the so time, you are wholly focusing on this with zero distractions. Then have a home admin block for things like bills, appointments, or cooking, family time. All of that goes into your family time block. So you know that you are only dealing with family things during this block. So by batching, you slash the cognitive cost of switching. So your brain stays in one mode for a longer and more efficient period. Now pair this with time blocking and scheduling these batches into your Google Calendar, like your non-negotiables, your appointment, the things that must happen at a particular hour. You block them on your Google Calendar. For instance, my deep work session is set for afternoon, like between 1 to 3 or so. Literally the time that my son goes down for nap. I'm just checking the time now because I need to start preparing for nap. So my brain already knows this. So if I'm doing something else during this block, it feels so wrong. Strategy number 3, master the art of the start and the shutdown. Often, the hardest part of consistency is just starting. See, your brain will give you 1,000,001 reasons you're too tired on already. But the trick is making starting ridiculously easy. For instance, don't commit to a 5-kilometer run. Commit to putting on your running shoes. That is it. And that is micro habits. If you haven't, you need to read this book by James Clear. Once you start with micro habits, momentum literally just kicks in and it just makes the next step easier. And this is why I created Consistency Operating System, Consistency OS. It's a 6-tool system to help you build that momentum gently, and you can regain control of your life in 24 hours. It comes with video guides and a full complete PDF guide with examples. So you are not completely alone. Consistency OS comes with daily execution dashboard, weekly planner, your monthly map, and also comes with two different protocols to help you when you get distracted or when you need to reset your consistency. Consistency always is literally built on micro commitments. Literally built on micro commitment from daily to monthly so that you are able to build momentum. So it's my birthday month. You get it at 80% off, and that is 19 Canadian dollars. I hope you take advantage of it before the month ends. Link is going to be in the description. I am June 3rd, by the way. Thanks for asking. Okay, once you start doing micro habits, momentum just naturally kicks in and making the next step easier, which is to create a shutdown ritual for your workday. It could be a 5 minute review of your Ivy list for tomorrow, closing all your tabs and saying out loud, work is done. This creates a psychological boundary that helps your brain stop carrying attention residue into your personal life. And it lets you transition cleanly from one role to the next so that you can be fully present for your family, for your partner, for your children, and even for yourself. This is why I plan my day like a night before and I'm able to sleep well at night. Guys, I can't tell you how mentally freeing that has been for me. By the way, there's actually a free weekly review worksheet in description, so you may want to grab it if you want. I just had that reviews, time blocking, energy managing, all of that are in consistency OS. So another reason for you to grab it. So here is your action plan. You know how we do it on this channel. I don't leave you without an action plan. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to write down the 6 most important things for tomorrow. Just 6. And see what happens. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about building a system that survives your imperfections. It's about understanding that your brain struggles with the constant juggling modern life demands and giving it the structure it needs to win. Think about it. If you miss one day of brushing your teeth, they don't all fall out. So if you miss one day in your plan, you haven't failed. You just get back to the system. Prioritize with a clear system, batch your rules, and block your time, and make it easy to start and essential to finish. You juggle more than most people can imagine, and it's time you had a strategy built for that reality. Now, guys, let me know in the comments, what is the biggest role switching challenge you face? Let me know in the comments below, okay? I want to hear from you. And I want you to keep this in mind. Consistency is not I never miss. Consistency is I always come back. And for people with multiple roles, the win is the return speed. It's not the strict length. So guys, if this video have been of any value to you, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Dupe. I'm a systems analyst, and this is Systems Based Life. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm going to see you all in another one. Bye, guys.